to where the air is sweet. Can you tell me how to get to Lake Marie? How to get to Lake Marie?
From the start, we do our part, responsibility. We own our thoughts and our words and actions in the day. Hey, from the start, we do our part, responsibility. We make good choices every day, that's the Lake Marie way.
We're back for another episode of
The Dog and Leopard Show.
We're in the month of December, so we're focusing on the character trait
Responsibility. Responsibility. I know this trait because it's one of our Roar's behaviors. Dog, can you tell us what responsibility means?
Of course I can. Responsibility is the willingness to be responsible for our own thoughts, words, and actions. We have a responsibility to our school, family, and community to be accountable for the choices we make.
And I remember Miss Cindy told us last week that we should say the phrase, do your part. You need to do your part to make good choices and show responsibility.
Wait, I think I have a great book that we can share with the Lake Marie Leopards today.
That's a good idea. But let's call Miss Thompson to help us out with reading the book.
Good plan. Let's go. Franklin Wants a Pet by Paulette Bourgeois and Brenda Clark. Franklin could count by twos and tie his shoes. He could sleep alone in his small dark shell. He even had a best friend named Bear. But Franklin wanted something else. He wanted a pet. Franklin had wanted a pet since he was small, but whenever he asked, "May I have a pet, please?" his parents said, "Maybe someday." Franklin waited for a long time. He often pretended to have a pet. He took Sam, his stuffed dog, for walks. He taught Sam tricks. He even helped Sam bury some bones. But Sam wasn't a real pet. One day, Franklin asked his parents again, "May I have a pet, please?" Franklin's parents looked at each other. "We'll think about it," they answered. At first, Franklin was happy because they did not say no. Then, Franklin became worried. His parents could think about things for days and days. Franklin waited until morning before asking his parents if they had finished thinking yet. "Not quite," said Franklin's mother. "We need to know that you could take care of a pet." Franklin nodded his head up and down. "Could you feed your pet?" asked Franklin's father. Franklin nodded again. He almost said please 100 times in a row, but he stopped himself. Later that day, Franklin asked his parents, "Are you finished thinking?" "Not yet," they answered. "Please hurry," said Franklin. His father sighed. "Franklin, this is a big decision. A pet costs money to buy and to keep." Franklin offered all the money in his piggy bank and hoped it was enough. After 3 whole days, Franklin was tired of waiting for his parents to finish thinking. He had a plan. He brought Sam to the breakfast table. "I have been taking care of Sam for a long, long time," he said. "I will take good care of a real pet too. I will feed it. I will clean its house. We can take it to the vet if it gets sick." Franklin's parents smiled. "It sounds as if you've been doing a lot of thinking too," they said. "So, may I have a pet, please?" he begged. They whispered to each other. Then they nodded their heads up and down. "Oh, thank you," said Franklin. He wanted to go to the pet store right away. "We'll help you choose a puppy tomorrow," said his father. "No, thank you," said Franklin. "I do not want a dog." His parents were surprised. "Dogs are nice," said Franklin, "but I want a quiet pet." Franklin's mother asked if he wanted a kitten. "No, thank you," said Franklin. "Kittens are nice, but I want a pet that stays close by." "Is it a hamster that you want?" said Franklin's father. Franklin shook his head. "No, thank you." "A rabbit?" asked Franklin's mother. "No, thank you," said Franklin. "What kind of pet do you want?" asked his parents. Franklin smiled and said, "I'll show you tomorrow." At the pet store, Franklin pointed to a fish. "I want a goldfish," he said. "A goldfish?" they said. "Why? A fish cannot do tricks or play with you." So Franklin explained. He liked to watch fish swim slowly around and around. He liked their beautiful colors, and he liked the way they made him feel inside, quiet and calm. Besides, he said, I love goldfish. That's the best reason of all, said Franklin's parents. Franklin named his fish Goldie. He took very good care of her, just as he'd promised. Every morning, Franklin watched Goldie swim around, and every night before he went to bed, Franklin blew a great big fish kiss and whispered, I love you, Goldie.
I really like that book, Dog.
Right? I thought it did a great job teaching us about responsibility.
Yes, Franklin wanted a pet, but his parents were not sure if that was the right choice.
Exactly. They know that owning a pet is a huge responsibility.
And Franklin tried to prove that he would be responsible as a pet owner throughout the entire book.
What makes someone a responsible pet owner?
Good question. Let's ask our Lake Marie Leopards.
Leopards? What does it take to be a responsible pet owner?
Discuss as a class. We'll wait.
Okay, now that you're back, let's discuss this week's challenge.
Can't wait to hear it.
Your challenge this week is to work as a class to come up with what it takes to be a responsible student at Lake Marie. Once you made that list, practice those responsible behaviors here at school.
Fantastic challenge. I like the idea of working together as a class, bringing back some teamwork. Before we wrap up this week's video, let's work as a team to review our behavior expectations.
All right, Leopards, what are our school rules or behavior expectations?
Roars!
Okay, let's say them together.
R, respect. O, ownership. A, attitude. R, responsibility. S, safety. Wonderful job, everyone. But before we go, how do we end our video with our Roars chant? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Lake Marie, Lake Marie. Leopard show respect within our school community. Ownership, attitude, responsibility. Leopard show safety for you and me. Lake Marie, Lake Marie. Leopards, roar.
Remember to like and subscribe, and as always,
Stay golden.